if you think about everything going on with every individual with whom you're working, it can all add up very fast.
Welcome to Keeping It Real, the podcast where we talk to the most interesting people in real estate, and we got a good one for you today. So we're going to do something a little bit different today and talk to one of our Real Geeks product managers, Chuck Richards, and we're going to be discussing basically the basics of CRMs. And this is really focused at some of our agents that are a little bit newer, a little bit like getting into a more like premium tool set and trying to like up their game. So we're going to discuss basically the high level things you should know about a CRM, how to get into a CRM, what you should know when you're selecting a CRM. And we'll just dive right in. Chuck, did I miss anything from your bio and background that you want to add?
No, I think that's pretty much covers it. As you mentioned, I'm one of the product managers at Real Geeks, work primarily with their team that manages our CRM side. So excited to be here today and talk about best practices and all the ins and outs on how that CRM can help you boost your business.
Okay. Well, for the people that are at the back of the room, what is a CRM?
Yeah, that important question right off the bat. And it's one that we get very often because, there's a lot of recommendations out there for running a business, let alone what do you do in the real estate space. And one of the suggestions that gets tossed out is, hey, you need a CRM, you need a database, you got to have a CRM. And people are like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. What is that? Because we have so many acronyms for all the different software and tools that get tossed around these days. So to set the foundation, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. And on a very fundamental level, the CRM is meant to help you manage your database of leads, contacts, prospects, so that you have a good oversight of your sphere of influence, the people that you're working with, the people that you want to work with, people that you've worked with in the past, also that you can manage those relationships and help them move through your pipeline.
Maybe to add on to that, if you are using a CRM, it means that you should never question, who do I call? Who do I talk to today? Or never worry about like, oh man, that person slipped through the cracks and I forgot to call them for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Like the CRM should help you stay in touch with all of those people. Is that
we could, yeah. So you touch on a couple of very interesting points there, and definitely some things that I want to do some deeper dives into throughout our conversation. But the high level best CRM, as the saying goes, is the one that you use. The even better CRM is the one that uses itself for you in a lot of ways by making sure people don't fall through the cracks.
So we're going to talk a little bit about like getting contacts into your CRM, but I think that another kind of foundational thing up front is Real Geeks is a website and CRM connected. And so can you just real quick explain like why you would want those two things like really tightly integrated versus having like a website and a CRM that are just sort of two independent things?
Yeah, that's a great question. To answer that, I'm going to take a little bit of a scenic route and first start out with the general idea of, hey, I'm picking a CRM. I've got that suggestion. I'm ready to invest. I'm going to dive right in and figure this out. So let's say that I'm a brand new agent and I'm trying to decide which CRM I want to go with. Countless options out there. A lot of really good options too. As we said, great CRM is going to be the one that helps you keep track of your people, organize them, help you see where in the pipeline they are. Many CRMs out there can do that. What you want to look for and where Real Geeks stands out is that it is a CRM built for real estate agents. And that's critical because it's structured to help you manage those customer relationships in a way that will progress them through a real estate pipeline, not just the generalities of, I'm in the looking stage. I'm touring homes. Oh, I'm ready to set some appointments and have some meetings. Instead, having a real estate CRM that's going to perform a lot of actions for you with drip workflows that are automated communications campaigns, a real estate CRM that is connected with a real estate website, live IDX feed, where the actions that your leads take on that website trigger certain communications and events within your real estate focused CRM. That connection is so key. It's so vital because that's what's really going to help your clients uh, get the most out of the relationship that you're trying to manage with them. I think it was Zig Ziglar who said that people give business based on trust, and with a CRM, managing relationships is how you build trust with these people. And so that website CRM connection is really going to help you establish that trust, demonstrate your marketing expertise, and help clients find exactly what they're looking for when they come to you.
Yeah, and so let me see if I can connect two thoughts here. One of the things that I hear surprisingly often is an agent, a newer agent, or an agent that's shopping for CRM will say something like, I Googled, best CRM for real estate agent. And I ended up on a page and it was suggesting like Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, and then like Real Geeks and, our competitors. And for me, if you're looking at that page and reading that page, like, unless you are a mega team with like, 1,000 agents, like you're in the wrong spot. Because kind of to your point, Salesforce, Pipedrive, HubSpot don't have the real estate specific tool set. So when you set up an automation, it's just like a marketing automation that like us corporate guys are gonna appreciate, but you as a real estate agent are gonna struggle getting them back to IDX, like automated searches, back to automated reports, and really struggle to like deliver that that long-term value over time. So, kind of, I think where you're going with this, like the advantage of having these two things connected is the website obviously pushes the leads directly into your CRM where you can see them, engage them, but then also the automation takes it from there, cycling these people back to the website, back to the automated reports, back to the market reports, and then continues that cycle of engagement without your like active hands-on engagement. Is that?
Yeah, that's right. That's a great way to put it, because you can set up a Salesforce, a HubSpot, a Monday, a Keep, any of these other broad scale CRMs, and cobble together all sorts of integrations to perform the actions that you want. But that is built on connecting all of these different things, which means that's more you have to manage. That's more you're paying in terms of setup time, setup fees, the ongoing costs, having to be hands-on and make sure, okay, are my connections still working? Are leads progressing the way that they want? Are they receiving the communications? Instead, if you've got that real estate focused CRM, that IDX website connection, then it's all seamless. It's all one platform that's going to be doing the work. So lower cost, lower amount of time that's given to managing the system. And again, as you're building trust with your clients, our goal at Real Geeks is we want you to develop a trust in our software, that it is doing the work for you and providing that value and moving your leads closer to their goals.
That's awesome. Okay, so I want to paint a picture for someone that's like considering buying Real Geeks or another real estate CRM, like a very clear picture of like, okay, so I like submitted a lead on Real Geeks. I talked to the sales guy. I'm in, and now I'm talking to like the onboarding rep, and I got access to my Real Geeks. Like, basically, like, what are the first steps I should be thinking about, like when I'm setting up my CRM? Like, and help them visualize like what exactly they're gonna do, like in those first couple of moments.
Yeah, well, when it comes to the CRM side, especially if you are brand new to the CRM space, it can honestly be a little bit intimidating. So I would take, I guess, the cover from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, say,
Don't panic.
That's right. Grab your towel. Don't panic. It can do a lot, and so it can often feel like a lot when you're getting started and you're not sure quite where to begin. So if I were to break it down, somebody brand new coming on board, whether this is your first CRM or you've had another system and you're shopping around, you're getting started with another one. Step number one, let's start getting some people into that database, start making it a people base, as I like to say sometimes, so that you've got customers to start managing relationships with. So that CRM can start performing its fundamental function there. And there are a number of ways that can do that. A great CRM is going to allow you to import an existing sphere of influence, whether that's via a spreadsheet or CSV that you've exported from a previous platform that you might have been using, or else you manually create leads. You can sync and connect it with contacts that are in your phone, in your email accounts. Everybody has an existing sphere of influence, whether it's defined and on a platform as a big contact list, or else just, hey, these are my friends, these are my family. I'm setting up my real estate business and I want to start getting the word out there. So step number one, start moving people and contacts that you already have into this new system. That's going to give you a place to start working, because you can't manage relationships without the people to have the relationships with. From there, the next suggestion that I often give to people when they're asking, how should I approach setting this up, is you want to start looking at how you organize those people. Most CRMs, and especially the real estate CRMs, are going to have ways to categorize leads in terms of the status or the stage of the pipeline. Where is this person at? Are they a home buyer who's just starting to look at properties? Are they somebody who's at the point of doing showings and going and taking tours? Are they ready to go under contract? Maybe they've already closed. You want to start looking at, how do I organize these leads? Additionally, CRMs will let you go even further. You can apply tags to identify people that they love to play golf. And so you're going to use that tag to keep top of mind by including them in a communications campaign about local golf events in the area. And, whether they're moving through your pipeline actively or not, it helps keep you top of mind, so that they, oh, hey, that I remember that agent provided some useful information. Somebody that I trust, knows about my market area, knows what's going on, has an understanding of what that market space looks like.
You touched on a couple of things there that I actually wanted to drill into another question. So
Sure.
Maybe let's talk first about import. So you kind of mentioned, unfortunately, I hear occasionally at networking events like, oh, I keep all my leads in a spreadsheet. And it's like, well, I'm glad you're tracking your leads, but a spreadsheet's like not a CRM. And so basically what I heard you say is that CRM can be directly uploaded to the spreadsheet can be directly uploaded to the CRM, and that's pretty seamless. But if someone says like, hey, I keep all my leads in my contacts on my phone, how does that work?
Oh, that is a very good question. We talk with agents all the time, and everybody has their own system for the way that they are keeping contacts before getting set up with their CRM. We've seen the spreadsheet. We've seen Google Docs. We've seen Post-it notes on desks. We've seen people that are keeping notebooks, the Rolodex, index cards, anything that you can imagine. And so it can be a lot of work at first to move all of that information into the database. If you're taking it off of physical notes, obviously that's going to take more time. But if you've got a spreadsheet, it should be pretty seamless. And at Real Geeks, we're working to improve our platform to make it as seamless as possible. And we've got our support team that does a fantastic job every day helping new clients to get their existing spheres of influence into the system. But maybe you've got that phone set of contacts. Good CRMs, they have multiple channels through which you can import. At Real Geeks, one of the newest features that we're excited to be rolling out very soon is Google Contact Import. Pretty soon after that, we're going to be looking expanding out so that people can move over Microsoft Contacts and Apple Contacts. We want to provide as many ways as possible for our customers to make their database feel more robust right out of the gate. It's an investment. Again, it takes some time. It might take a little bit of getting used to working with that software-based database as opposed to, if you're using the notebook or just a spreadsheet. But what I like to explain to people is that it's so important, because if you just got the information sitting in a spreadsheet, that's very often all that it's doing, sitting there. You can have.
I would ask, like, so are those rows in the spreadsheet, like all those leads, like, are they getting automated market updates? Are they getting, like, what communication are they getting from you? So actually, I wanted to jump in, because we've done a lot of interviews with really successful agents and a lot of, like, really successful coaches. And one of the things the coaches will say is they advise their agents that are moving into a CRM, maybe from a spreadsheet world or from a Apple Contacts world, is to invest the time up front to go through and not just like move the contact into the CRM, but to take that contact and put them on market updates or workflows or some sort of automated messaging, right? So that way the person goes from just like a row in a database that's not getting any messaging from you to a like something where the CRM is actually like delivering value to this person on your behalf. In terms of moving people into Real Geeks, like, what should they be thinking about? Like, what features are they going to use when they set that up?
Oh, you're reading the passer where I was wanting to go there, Chris. So if you've just got the information, that's great. Good to have information. But if it's just sitting there in a spreadsheet or even in a CRM, then it's just as good as if you had it written on a Post-it note, crumpled it up, tossed it in the trash. Because if you're not doing anything with it, you're not doing a thing with it. And it's not going to do anything for you either. So getting it into the database is step one. The next step after that, start doing things with it. So you mentioned automated communication campaigns is so vital. And one of the most important touch points that a home buyer can have with an agent is a saved search that provides regular property update emails. And so that is what we at Real Geeks say should be the first and most important piece of communication that's set up once you get leads into your database. Do that save search. What is this person looking for? Make sure that they're getting those regular updates from you about new listings, price changes, so that you're top of mind and so that they have the information they need to confidently move forward in their process. Because, home buying as well as home selling can be very stressful. So you're communicating with them, providing the information they need, developing that relationship, building that trust, and that's going to make them move forward with you. One of the things that, again, tying back to why it's so important to have the integrated website CRM connection, your lead on your website performing certain actions, one, you're going to be able to see when they're online. And if you've got that connection, you've got the live chat that you can jump in right then and say, hey, Chris, I saw that you're looking at this property 123 Main Street. Would you like to set up a showing? Can I help you find anything in this market? If you have any questions about the neighborhoods or the communities, you can jump in right then when your lead is active. Speed to lead is key. If you're getting there while they're on your website, it doesn't get much faster than that. But let's say that you don't happen to be sitting at your desk, or you're working with other clients at the time. The CRM doing the work for you, recognizing the lead behaviors on that website. Say they're favoriting properties. Say that they keep coming back and they're looking at the same listing over and over. That connection with the CRM, at least on the Real Geek side, we've got features like reactive responses that are going to automatically recognize those behaviors and text the lead to strike up that conversation. We've also got other tools like our Geek AI, Robin, an automated assistant that is going to carry on those conversations to help qualify the leads and help, encourage them towards wanting to set an appointment and take the next step on your behalf. That way you can focus less on maintaining the system and more time doing what you do best, working with the people.
I think, and I'm listening to this, and the thought that's like, that's jumping into my mind is kind of like the memes where it's like expectation versus reality. Right. And I think that when a lot of real estate agents, like, think about the ideal lead. It's like we all want that lead that is going to answer the phone and be like, you know what, I want to buy today. Like, let's write a contract. And that never happens, right? Like, I mean, when it does, just be thankful. More likely than not, what's going to happen is I am looking, right? And so you need to understand, what that person's looking for. You need to guide them through the process. And this could take months, right? So that's why we talk about like building a pipeline. This is going to lead to like my next question, but I think it's important to understand that like the leads that you're going to get are frequently like more top of the funnel earlier in their buying stage, which is actually a great thing for you because it means that you get to be there and be the one moving them through this process, right? Like you want to be their resource in real estate. So moving this back to like the Real Geeks interface, like one of the things that you see when you get into our CRM is this thing called statuses. And it's kind of a big thing in our CRM. And I was wondering if you could talk about like what that is and what that's trying to show you.
Yeah. So we have on our leads list page, which is the main page that shows the table of all the contacts that you have in your database. Sitting right at the top there, we call it our status bar. It shows our default status options. Now, the Real Geek system is structured enough that we give a lot of suggestions for best practices and automations so that the system can do things for you. But we also provide a lot of flexibility where you could create your own custom status and stages depending on how you want to structure your business and the way that your team operates. But for us, if you're using that status bar with our suggested stages, then it's going to give you a very quick overview for the distribution of contacts across the different parts of your pipeline. Who is a new lead, who's in a nurture phase, who's waiting for you to reach out to them and needs more contact. That way you can prioritize, all right, I'm going to start with the people that need contact. Let's get some messages out to them. All right, these folks that are in the nurture phase, when was the last time I did reach out? Who needs to be contacted today? All right, everybody that has appointments. Do I have my follow-up set so that I know to touch base with them? Do I need to schedule anything on behalf of those clients or reach out to listing agents or title agencies on their behalf?
Kind of like a to-do list. So, maybe to put this in another way, like, if you've been watching some of our other episodes with Greg and Abe, it's like you hear from these like all-star coaches that it's like, you should be time blocking and you should be calling your leads and like, doing your dials, and like, no matter which really hyper successful agent you talk to, they're all saying that they're doing that all the time. Right. And so then the next question is like, well, who do I call? Right. And it sounds like this solves that problem.
This starts to solve that problem. Yeah. We get that question all the time. Who do I call? How do I have these conversations? Greg and Abe do an excellent job with their coaching. I love every time that they dive into discussing lead identification and how do I, work with my pipeline and how do I work with urgencies, which, work along with the status. So the status shows you where in the pipeline is this person. The urgency tells you how often you want to contact them. Somebody that you want to make daily contact with, or somebody that you want to set up a weekly touch base with, and so on and so forth. So, I love a lot of the suggestions that Greg and his team give for, I'm setting up my additional filters that I can create on this contact page or this leads list that we call it in Real Geeks. Okay, who is everybody that I should contact at least once a week? And it's been more than a week since I've last reached out. That way I know exactly who do I need to be calling. And then we've also got libraries with templates for emails, for text messages, full automated workflow campaigns that folks can pick and choose from so that they have more guidance on how do I have conversations once I've identified who to reach out to.
We've talked like quite a bit about, well, actually one thing I wanted to go back and talk about, which was more of like a tip for people, again, based off our conversation with coaches and all-star agents, which is like, as you're making these calls, you need to take really good notes, and you can put those notes in the CRM. And so, Chuck, I don't know if there's any additional like add-ons you want to say there, but like, that's just as a like bullet point. Like if someone's taking notes, like during maybe the Aaron Alls episode or like the Susie Ellis episode, or anything, with Greg and Abe, they're like, take notes, take notes, take notes. Like when the person says like, hey, this is my birthday, this is like the thing that's going on with my son, this is my dog's name, like I, want to have more kids, like, you should be writing that stuff down. Anything to add from like just again, CRM angle, what should I do with that information?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And it goes back to a couple of the other things that we've touched on already, with regards to, what a CRM does for you, helps you manage not only the contact information, but important information about who this person is. Because, it is a person. And that's why I like to think of it as the people base rather than the database, because you're working with actual humans with lives and families and things that they care about. So you want to keep track. What are the things that this person cares about? A general CRM will have note boxes, or maybe you can create some custom fields with labels, but your real estate focused CRM is going to have, everything set up for you out of the box with regards to important dates like birthdays, anniversaries, home closings, the secondary contacts they want to work with, search criteria so that you can know what are they looking for in a home, in a community. And then of course, we do also have the general notes that you can add in for things that have come up during conversations that you want to log and record. The other great advantage of a real estate focused CRM that's connected with your website is that it's going to automatically update the activity history for that lead, so that you're not always having to manually type out the notes. Chris was looking at this property on this date. The website's going to record all of that for you. Likewise, if you're texting and communicating with your leads through your CRM, the activity history automatically filling in with all the information. That way, the next time you go back to have a conversation with that person, you can regain context very quickly for what did we last discussed? What were the next steps here? Going back to what we were describing with the statuses, if you think about how many leads you work with, you can see how it would get very time consuming and very tedious if you were to go through lead by lead by lead, clicking the fields and updating the status for each and every individual. Our smart statuses are going to read these behaviors and communications that are being logged for you automatically, and also automatically update the status. Again, we want you using our system, but we don't want you feeling like you're spending all of your time maintaining that system. We want it to be working for you and giving you the information so that you can then turn around and work with your people.
So we're almost out of time, but I wanted to throw a couple of stats at you. So 80% of home, buyers essentially say that they're going to use the same real estate agent in the future. Only 10% seem to actually follow through on that. Meanwhile, I saw some other data that shows that by the time an agent is like 16 years into the business, most of their business, this is, an agent that stays basically like at a agent that's mostly like selling homes rather than like building a giant team or becoming a broker or something like that, right? Because you can definitely go down like an online marketing route, kind of like a lot of what our super agents do. But so for the average agent, by the time they're 16 years into the business, most of their business is coming from like kind of recurring business. So how quick, and I know this is a deep question we probably could do a whole episode on, but like in 3 minutes, tell me how a CRM is going to help me build that pipeline of future repeat business.
That's a very important question. And it's unfortunately a mistake that we see people make a lot of. You mentioned that you have, the folks that are looking for that lead that's ready to buy now, ready to sell now. And that mindset sometimes transitions into when I do close a deal with the lead, and we've sold the home, or we've signed the contract, we bought the new property. I consider it a done case, closed. Like I said, it is so important to maintain that referral business. A CRM is so vital for those interactions, because you can put those folks onto an automated campaign so that those people are still going to receive communications and updates from you. Maybe a new home buyer, they've closed on their first property, and you set them on a campaign that will give them updates about not just their community, but tips about registering appliances for warranties, or companies that you'd recommend for doing pools or fences, just ways that you are showcasing your expertise and your knowledge about the market that's continuing to provide value for these people. But on a high level, it's all about maintaining those touch points so that when they're ready to buy a new home, not only do they come to you to sell the one that you just helped them get into, but it's two transactions in one, right? They got to sell the home they're in, and then they're looking to buy the new property. They have friends, family members, coworkers that need an agent, and these people are thinking of you because you're still giving them information, providing value. They're going to give those referrals, and that continues to generate your business. So short answer here, keep it under my 3-minute time limit. CRM will automate those communications so you maintain those touch points, because over time, as your sphere of influence is exponentially growing, you are having to give a lot of active attention to the folks progressing through your pipeline. Let the CRM take care of making sure that you still have those relationships with the people that have reached I'll say the end of the pipeline and are ready to cycle back through the next time.
And I think that with that, we've kind of shown this plot arc in this like little mini episode of Keeping It Real, where it's like the new agent is going to get the value from the CRM by automating these specific real estate related tasks, knowing who to call, and just getting help with the day-to-day maintenance of this. And then as your business grows and matures over time, the CRM is going to help you maintain the long-term relationship with those clients so that it's not one lead nurtured to a single close, but it's all of the referral business and all of the repeat transactions that come to that person. So it is a exponential increase in the amount of business that you should be doing from your sphere. Any final thoughts, Chuck?
Yeah, no, just building on what you were just saying there. If you think about everything going on with every individual with whom you're working, it can all add up very fast. Big advantage of the CRM is it's going to act as your lead generation and your lead management engine that's driving your business so that you can handle all of these relationships while at the same time giving that focus and attention to the people and the individuals. And that is really what's going to push your business forward, set you apart from the rest of the market and the rest of the competition.
Sounds great. Hey, well, Chuck, thanks so much for jumping in and, doing a little bit of like 101 lessons on CRM. I hope that, the viewers of this Keeping It Real got a lot of value out of this. And like, maybe we answered some basic questions of like, what is the CRM and what's it going to do for me? And why would I want to do something that's not, like Apple Contacts, all the basic stuff. If you enjoyed this episode, or actually, let me start out by saying, if you have questions, for Chuck, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. We read every comment that gets left on all of our YouTube channels and Facebook posts, Instagram posts, all that kind of stuff. And we cycle it out to these people and try and get back to as many people as we can. So we read your comments. If you have questions, leave them below. Second of all, like if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It, definitely, keeps us motivated to keep pumping out great content for you. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all later.